Hello traders, and today we're going to be doing a video on me top-down analysing NZDCHF from the monthly time frame all the way down to the 15-minute time frame, looking for potential trade opportunities or the direction which price could be heading. First here we'll start on the monthly time frame, drawing out key levels of structure. Important trend lines, support and resistance levels. Like so. Got a nice descending channel. Price looks to be respecting it so far. And now we've got this, we'll head down to the weekly time frame. And I'll enable these to be seen on the weekly time frame too. So we can see the channel that we have drawn out here. So now we're ready, we'll go down to the weekly time frame. And as you can see here, nice retest, price ensuring us is coming back in. And now we are moving up, we have rallied almost 1,000 pips, 820 pips since the low. And price looks like it will be continuing its move to the upside. Now, we do have a level, or a zone as you can call it, upcoming in the market. Now, will price decide to respect this and bounce from it? Like so. Will this be disregarded and price just continues to rally as usual? As normal, and just come back to this channel top. So that's just something to bear in mind. Now we'll head down to the daily time frame, and then to the hourly, and then the minutes also. So you can see here, nothing new. We just have a nice ascending structure, ascending formation. Price respecting it, we're rallying up, as you can see. The bulls are very impactful. You can see here, rallying to the upside. We've got a nice wedge pattern. Or you can see this a different way. You can see this as the impulsive move. And this is a corrective move. And another impulsive move to the downside. Now let me know what you think on NZDCHF in the comments. But for now we'll continue analysing. So now I've got this structure on the daily chart. Make sure it's visible to the hourly time frames. Yep, this one is. Likewise this one. Now I head down to the 12-hour time frame. And as expected, nothing different. And as you can see here, we are making our way back up to this wedge pattern top. And it could be time for price to, as you can see here, we had this nice corrective structure. And this is important because it shows after this nice impulsive move, a nice impulse. We had the correction, and then now we are partaking in another impulse to the upside, like so. Now, could price be installed for another one of these impulsive moves? Let me know what you think. We could be installed for a nice big correction, following the nice impulse that we've had, as you can see here. Now, do we plan to take this to the downside? Personally, no. As the correction, as you can see, and I'll draw this out here, it was a 200 pip drop. If you wanted to partake in the whole move, you would have had to be waiting 25 days, so almost a month, to partake in this whole corrective move. So personally, it's unfavorable for us to partake in this big corrective in another corrective move, but we could catch some nice move to the downside on intraday timeframes and minute timeframes such as the 15-minute. But longer term, we have to say that we're bullish on this. Likewise with other Swiss pairs. No, rather likewise with other New Zealand dollar pairs. I am bullish. Now I head down to the 6-hour time frame. As you can see here, nothing new. We'll just evolve this ever so slightly. Save that. Now I head down to the 2-hour time frame. Yep, we've still got this rally. Nice channel. Now price is at the channel top. We can do a little forecast. Where do we think that price will head from here? Now I'll also rein this in as well. It's very clear we have a nice ascending structure, and we could plan to take this to the downside if we get a break of this structure, or even at the channel top and a break of further structure for a better risk to reward ratio. So I plan for something like this: triple top formation, price just tags the top of the channel, and then we get the move to the downside. How do we look to trade this? So this is a nice corrective structure. In fact, I'll rein this in ever so slightly to this top. Awaiting a nice corrective structure. And personally, how I would trade this is I would go short right when price breaks above and comes back in. This would be a nice position to go for. Not the best confirmation wise, 13 pip stop. Is that too tight? Yes. Some would argue no. But another position would be, extra confirmation wise. We've got a nice 30 pip stop. Just a break of this structure. And look to target this level for 4%. Now we can make this even bigger. Look to target here. Price to targets in, touch the bottom of structure for a nice 4%. Look to lock in 4% there. Look to lock in here. We'll save this to our take profit default. Put that here. Can we look for further targets? Yes. How about 6.5% here? Yes, that still is okay with us. And then the 12%, yeah, that looks nice. And now let's head down to the 1 hour. See what else we have here. As you can see here, we've just rejected the channel top, the trendline top, and we could be in store for another move to the downside. Not necessarily the bigger long-term forecast, but shorter term, we could come back to this trendline bottom. It is very in play. It's not out of question. So yeah, that's our take on NZDCHF. Shorter term, we could have some bullish opportunities, but longer term, we still value the longer term idea of coming back to this channel top. And by channel top, I mean the weekly stroke monthly channel top. So right, that's NZDCHF. And now we're going to move on to CAD-CHF. I did actually send some analysis on this to the Discord, so be sure to check it out in the free analysis group. And yeah, this is the daily chart. We'll start off with the monthly. Price has had a history of big impulsive moves. You can see here, this big phase, another one, correction, and another impulsive move. And that's starting to get messy. We'll remove all of them. Could this be a bigger correction? And price is just waiting. Price is just waiting for another move to the downside. We don't know yet, but as you can see here, we broke this level, this monthly level, and I'll draw that out for you right now. We broke this level. Price could be coming back to retest it. Before we get a drop. Now let's head down to the daily time frame. We've got this structure on NZDCHF as well. And here on CAD-CHF, price is breaking above it slightly. How do we look about this? Another one of these. We get this in the market a lot of the time. So that's what we look for here as well. Where would we target? Down to this level again. You know this level, this wedge bottom. And breaking out of this channel breaking out of this wedge isn't anything important. We can just rein this in. We can plan for this nice corrective structure. We can forecast for it, which will also match to be the retest of this monthly key level. So yeah, we'll still keep watching this, and we'll just evolve this slightly as well to match the daily criteria. So now I've got this on the daily chart. We can sort of remove this. And for the 6 hour time frame, extend this once again. And right now, price has just formed a pin bar, which could be signs of some short-term bullish momentum to the upside as we planned for the overall drop. We're not trying to predict anything, we're just trying to forecast and plan. And for all we know, price might not even do any of this, but it's called forecasting. It's worked out before, so there's no reason why it won't work out again. So we've got this nice ascending structure like so. And what happened when price kicked off from this level? Just rocketed to the upside, like so. Very bullish for CAD-CHF. Now, have we got this exact same thing? Where I've got this. In fact, I'll rein this in, as it is only relevant to this structure. Are we getting that same structure here? Well, quite possibly we are. We've got the same expanding channel. But this time, could this be a correction? That's what we talked about here, where we have the move to the upside, price getting ready to drop, triple top, and then a drop, like so. How do we look about to trade this? what we do is we put our entry below the break, stop loss just above the high. We can go for 20 pips here. Take profit at the next level, the next important level of structure. Make sure the risk to reward is well in our trading plan. This time it would be 1 to 6 for this specific scenario though. Now let's plan this trade. So entry set below, stop loss above this high, as long as we don't move higher. And if we do move higher, what we can do is price still decides to consolidate in here, higher, what do we do? Then that's only better for us, because then we can keep evolving this slightly. Stop loss below the structure, which gives us more breathing room for our take profit and a better risk to reward. You can see here we've got 1 to 8, risk to reward 1 to 8. But if price was to all of a sudden break now, in fact I'll remove this. If price was to break now, we just got one big bullish candle. Then as you can see here, the risk to reward becomes smaller, 1 to 4. And instead of the 150 pip move, got 130. Not so much of a big deal, but it's the risk to reward which counts. Then it was 1 to 8, now it's 1 to 4. So it would be better if price decided to correct even more before we get the break of this structure. Now we'll head down to the 15-minute time frame, and before we do that, first I want to head to the 12-hour just to make this a bit smaller. And now we're ready for the 15-minute time frame. Got this nice supportive level holding. And yeah, price is consolidating, as you can see here. Just make this bigger and change the color a little bit. Actually, I'll do it via here. Make this lighter shade so it's more visible. We are consolidating at the moment, and once we get a break of this range, and in fact I'll use this to draw it in, and I'll switch it to a line for now. Once we get a break of this range, then we will look for bearish signs. I'll switch this back to candles. You can see price is consolidating. We do expect price to continue consolidating. Once we get a break, look for the retest. A nice flat correction before the drop. Entry below, stop loss above, and I'll just move that. Overall target still remains down at these lows, so in all the shorts we do, this looks to be our target, nice 16%. Another entry would be here, stop loss here. So possibly another 12-13%, another 11.5%. So this is just a little bit of forecasting. We do look for price to drop. As you can see here, we've got a head and shoulders pattern potentially folding. If we switch back to the line chart, not Heikin-Ashi, line, just move. Got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. We will use line for this as it removes all the noise from the candle wicks. And we can see where price is overall heading with the candle closures, which is much better than than the wicks of the candles. So yeah, that's a top-down analysis all the way from the monthly down to the 15-minute chart of NZDCHF, or the New Zealand dollar versus the Swiss franc, and also CAD-CHF, the Canadian dollar versus the Swiss franc. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take some ideas into your own trading. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back for another video. Take care, traders.